Everyone, welcome back to another episode of our tech podcast.
Hey folks.
I'm your host, Emma, and sitting across from me is the ever-curious Alex.
Emma, I've been itching to discuss something with you. Have you heard about the latest feature that's been making waves in the AI community?
You must be talking about Google's NotebookLM and its new audio overview feature, right?
Bingo.
Uh-huh.
It's been all over my feed lately. The idea of generating naturally sounding audio podcasts from any material you add to a notebook, it's pretty revolutionary.
I know. It's like having your own personal podcast generator.
Right.
You can feed it complex documents, and it churns out an audio summary that's easy to digest.
Exactly. It's not just for sharing with others. It's perfect for personal use too.
Hmm.
Imagine reviewing your notes during a commute without having to read them.
That's a game changer for students, professionals, anyone really. But I heard some folks are hitting limitations with it.
You're spot on. As impressive as it is, users have been bumping into a few roadblocks.
Really?
For starters, you can't control the length of the audio it generates. It's typically stuck between 8 to 12 minutes.
That's not ideal if you're looking for a quick 2-minute recap or a deep dive longer than 12 minutes.
Exactly. Plus, you can't choose the voices. You're stuck with the default too, which can get monotonous if you're using it frequently.
That could be a bit of a downer. Personalization is key these days.
And perhaps the biggest gripe is the inability to edit the scripts. You can't tweak the content, adjust pronunciations, or add your own flair.
So it's like getting a pre-packaged meal with no option to customize.
That's one way to put it. Google did try to address some of these issues by allowing custom prompts to focus on certain topics or adjust the length, but it's hit or miss.
I see.
There's still no granular control.
Sound like there's room for improvement. Were there any alternatives out there?
Funny you should ask. There's another Google product called Illuminate.
Oh,
It's geared towards educational podcasts and offers options like setting the duration to short, medium, or long, adjusting the target audience, and tweaking the overall tone.
That sounds promising. Did it solve the customization problems?
Not entirely. It still falls short in terms of script editing and voice selection. And then there's 11 Labs VoiceOver Studio, which lets you create speech parts for multiple speakers on separate audio tracks.
Oh, and you can even clone your own voice with that one, right?
Yes, the voices are incredibly natural, and you can add interjections for a more dynamic flow.
amazing.
But it's pricey, and crafting conversations one phrase at a time is tedious. Plus, controlling pronunciation and intonation is limited.
So the quest for the perfect AI podcast tool continues.
Indeed it does. That's when some innovators decided to take matters into their own hands.
Ooh, this sounds exciting. Tell me more.
So, one person, I read his blog post recently, decided to build a proof-of-concept app to overcome these limitations.
Wow.
He used ChatGPT, GPT-4o, Microsoft Azure Text-To-Speech, and a low-code platform called Retool.
That's quite the tech stack. How does it all come together?
Well, the app is designed to give users full control over the podcast creation process. It starts with a page called Add Your Data, where you can upload PDFs or enter web URLs.
Got it.
The app processes these materials and stores them in a vector database.
So you can use any content as your source material?
Exactly. Then, on the Draft Your Script page, you interact with GPT-4o to generate a script for a conversation between two hosts.
Can you edit the script if you're not happy with it?
Absolutely. You can chat with the AI to make adjustments or manually edit the script to your liking.
That's a big improvement over the other tools.
It gets better. The next step is Mark It Up, where you convert your script into SSML, speech synthesis markup language format.
Sounds cool.
This allows you to customize voices, adjust speech rate, pitch, intonation, and even pronunciation.
I've heard of SSML. It's like HTML but for voice, right?
Exactly. And here's the genius part. He introduced custom SSML tags for interjections and pauses.
Wow.
So you can add interjection tags for natural reactions like right, or exactly, and pause tags to control timing.
That would make the conversation sound so much more natural.
It does. The interjections can overlap with the main speech, just like in real conversations.
Awesome.
It adds depth and realism that's often missing in AI-generated dialogues.
I'm impressed. What about the voices? Are there more options?
Using Azure Text-To-Speech service, you have access to a wide range of neural voices that sound incredibly lifelike.
That's impressive.
You can choose different voices for each host and even clone your own voice if you want.
Fantastic. So you could have, say, a British accent for one host and an Australian accent for another?
Exactly. The level of customization is unprecedented.
How user-friendly is this app? Do you need to be tech-savvy to use it?
Not at all. Thanks to Retool's low-code platform, the interface is straightforward. It's divided into 4 steps, and each page guides you through the process.
That's a relief. Sometimes these advanced tools can be intimidating.
I hear you. And get this, the app is cost-effective too.
Really?
Retool has a free tier, and Azure Text-To-Speech service offers generous free quotas. The developer mentioned spending just a few cents using OpenAI's API for GPT-4o.
So it's accessible to hobbyists and small businesses, not just large companies.
Exactly. And the final audio output is impressive.
Nice.
While it might not be as perfectly natural as NotebookLM's output, the trade-off is the immense control you have over every aspect.
This could have huge implications beyond just personal use. I'm thinking educational content, training modules, even marketing materials.
You're absolutely right. The potential applications are vast.
Wow.
The developer even mentioned future enhancements like adding visual editing tools similar to 11 Labs Voice Lab, integrating more text-to-speech services, and refining how interjections are handled.
Imagine being able to visually arrange audio clips, adjust timings, and see your podcast come together like a puzzle.
That would be amazing. Plus, they're considering adding features like guest appearances from other virtual speakers and enabling adjustments to the vocabulary or style of individual speakers.
So you could have a guest expert chime in on a particular topic within your podcast.
Exactly. It opens up so many creative possibilities.
Do you think this will push companies like Google to enhance their own products?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
Innovation often comes from individuals pushing the boundaries, and big companies take notice.
For our listeners who are intrigued by this, is there a way to try out the app or get involved?
The developer mentioned that while it's a working proof of concept, he's open to collaboration.
Awesome.
If anyone wants to join forces or provide feedback, reaching out would be a great idea.
That's fantastic. I love when the tech community comes together to drive innovation forward.
Me too. And who knows? Maybe this will lead to the next big thing in AI-generated content.
Well, Alex, this has been a fascinating discussion. Any final thoughts?
Just that it's inspiring to see how limitations can spark creativity.
Absolutely.
This app shows that with the right tools and a bit of ingenuity, we can overcome obstacles and create something truly impactful.
Couldn't agree more. And to our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you tried any AI podcast tools?
I bet you did.
What features are you craving?
Drop us a line or comment on our social media channels.
Click like and
Let's
subscribe.
keep the conversation going.
Thanks for tuning in to our tech podcast. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.